welcome back to the channel.
Oh.
This man is annoying. They
What's
didn't,
up,
but whatever. It's your favorite couple. We're back. It is currently New Year's Eve. So, you know how the black people say it? Merry New Year.
See, we tripping already.
Happy New Year's. Like it's more than 1 year we're going into. So, we decided to, we ain't doing nothing. We just came from church. So what we're gonna do, is, y'all just gonna hang out with us.
I'm sorry. The end of this year, like, whew.
Y'all gonna hang out with us while we cook, and we gonna chat, and we gonna talk, and yeah, we gonna run through how our year's been, right?
It's like still crazy when thinking about it.
Like we married.
Like
a
lot has happened.
First of all, show the new ring.
Yeah, you got the gold joint now.
Yeah, you got the gold joint now. You see it.
Excuse me.
Alright. He got a match. But also, if you're on my personal page, you already saw me prepping these yesterday.
Come on,
Corey,
please.
yeah, please. Can you help me?
See, you about to drop these joints.
Yeah, black eyed peas. The combo we having tonight is kind of crazy. It's black eyed peas, salmon, and rice and salad or something. I don't know. Corey didn't want tacos. Cookies. Yeah, we making cookies later. Corey didn't want tacos, but whatever. We just went on a rant, but y'all already know the deal. If you ain't subscribed yet, what you doing? Subscribe. Like, subscribe, help us out.
We ain't asking for much.
Right, just press that little button, press the bell so you get notified every time we upload. We've done really well, okay? With everything that's going on with our lives, I think we've done a fairly good job of uploading on this channel, and I'm very proud of that because I kind of disregarded my personal channel, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. Is definitely a huge help when it comes to us being able to produce and how often we produce and just the metrics and stuff. Follow us on social media.
Yeah,
Instagram, TikTok.
Again, we're like full-time creators, so essentially your support just allows us to be able to create at a more rapid pace, and especially just like the shares, the comments, especially the likes, the follows, the saves, etc. Not only is it encouraging for us, but then also just building relationships with brands, throughout the year in order to be able to generate a means of income for us to be able to live. That also helps us expedite the content creation process because cameras need to be purchased, photographers and videographers need to get paid. We have to travel. We have to invest in products if we even want to express, the value of some of the things that we purchase throughout the year, some of the things that we enjoy and that we like, and sharing those things with you all. Those do take an investment on our end in order to be able to hopefully connect with a brand and develop those relationships so that we can get paid to be able to, again, just live at the end of the day. So again, if you can like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, etc., it definitely is an extreme blessing to us. And there's a couple of different ways that we can kind of show you to make this like really, really quickly. But on Instagram, and I'll make sure that we post like screenshots of it. There is a unique way where you can guarantee that you see both of our content. Some stuff from a woman's perspective, some stuff from a man's perspective, and then also our collaborative content. So we'll make sure that we share how to do that. TikTok, the names are the same on Instagram as well. And then of course our YouTube page. So again, we appreciate your support. It is very encouraging to us, and just a lot of the different questions and the vulnerability that's been expressed to us through sharing our story, is definitely something that we appreciate as well, because you give us ideas to create content about. There was a lot of questions and stuff that we had just about being married and what that life entails.
Being married?
Honestly, somebody asked me the other day, like how do y'all do this? Honest to God, we just try to make figuring it out look good. Like literally, like at the end of the day.
And we do good.
So
we do good.
So we love y'all. But that's what we need. that's what we need from y'all, and we gonna keep, showing up and bringing our best value to the table. So
period. Oh, what's this?
Just doing too much. Always doing too much.
Never. Oh man, don't tell me I don't got no more vegetables, bro. See, this is what happens when you clean up and
I purchased like 3.
You purchased so many of them. Ugh! No, Corey, I'm about to cry. Y'all. Did I use them all? I'm about to be so sad.
You made that rice the other day and then use it, so it has to be somewhere.
We're good. We're clear. Alright, so first things first. Y'all already know I'm making black eyed peas. Our whatchamacallit, our diet's gonna change. More so mine than his. Well, maybe Corey's because I cook. So that's not on purpose. Corey is very well, I don't know, cause Corey, you be acting like, whatever you want to do, I'm gonna do. But then you be like, oh, where's the chicken at?
To an extent, yeah, but I gotta eat chicken. Like,
I've cooked more chicken, so honestly,
yeah, but
Corey's probably more the reason why I've started eating more meat this year. Not saying that's a bad thing.
Woman.
I am grown.
All right,
but
so Corey
what you've been like, what I have to cook and stuff, it's like you don't be wanting to cook multiple things. Like, it's just a lot going on. It's been a lot adjusting. But we're gonna get into we wrote all this stuff out, y'all, because it's a lot.
And also, like, kind of expect our YouTube content to probably look a little bit more like this. I know we've been talking about what next year looks like for us, and a lot of you will probably be excited to hear this, but we've been talking about developing a podcast. So
I'm excited about that.
A lot of the questions that you guys are asking, we'll probably be able to sit down and really go through and develop like conversation between each other to be able to provide more value and more so of that manner. Because our relationship with Christ, again, just going back to being Christians first and creatives and everything else essentially after that, we want to make sure that we have like an intentional time to really just break down a lot of the stuff that you guys have been asking us and providing that consistently through audio and video as well. And then our vlogging content will probably look a bit more like this, with going through maybe like what working with a brand looks like, or like a batch content shoot, or just the day-to-day tasks, like us going to the gym together, what like our Bible study time looks like with each other in the morning. A lot of those questions that a lot of people have been asking as to how do you prepare yourself for marriage and things of that sort. I think it'll be a bit easier for us to express that through just our daily tasks. So definitely give us feedback. Like, if y'all want to see a podcast coming out and things of that sort, let us know.
Right.
Again, because that does matter to us.
I think it just will look better because, I mean, not that...
Y'all listen more. I swear, people listen more when they see the podcast aesthetic, I swear. Yeah. I don't know what it is about having, like...
I think it's, like, how the things are cut.
Yeah, that too.
Like, the video is cut. But, I'm excited about that. I think it just will make it look more interesting than us just, like, sitting in front of y'all. Not that that's bad. And, honestly, y'all have interacted really well with just... us talking to y'all, but I think just aesthetically, and then also it's just...
We want to give y'all more of our life, too,
Yeah.
in the day-to-day, and not just like we're like robots, essentially, because we know that those conversations are very, very important, but that we also express those things through our lifestyle. So creating content like this will probably be a lot easier to be able to showcase what we've been sharing on our previous videos.
And it's like more relatable and more interesting too at the end of the day. So we ain't trying to bore y'all.
Yeah. And I just look bad here just watching her in the kitchen. I wash the dishes, y'all.
Corey washes like all
I cleaned the whole kitchen the other day.
He did really
Top
good.
to bottom.
Top to bottom. Very, very deep cleaning. Like,
if a woman says you did good, fellas, especially when it comes to cleaning. Yeah.
So I'm truly grateful. I can't ever complain about Corey because he's just so... And y'all look, hold on, look. This thing got me yesterday. My favorite. Don't, like, first of all, don't watch my nails. This is what you got me yesterday. It's my favorite candy.
In Walmart for like 45 minutes. Just trying to find them.
Roses. Just cuz, right?
Yeah, $16 from Sam's Club, fellas. It's not that hard.
It's not. And
Sam's Club.
This is the stuff I want to talk
Trader
about
Joe's.
On the podcast when we do it, because to Corey, that's just regular. And a lot of men do not think that way. So it's just like, but it don't make sense. It don't. Yeah, but I be trying to tell him he different. But he don't listen to me. So that's that. But we wrote all this stuff down, Corey. Where's your phone or my phone?
Yeah, so basically going back to the recap, taking you all through, we'll go by like quarter by quarter by quarter.
We had to write it down because so much happened this
year. January.
Guess what happened in January?
I spent a lot of money. That's what happened. And I'm about to do it again.
Corey, shut up. He's referencing my birthday being in January. My birthday's January 17th. He basically has a month between
I got hit
holiday,
with the
birthday, whatever.
Excuse me. Let me speak.
It ain't that bad.
I got hit with the okie doke. 1, 2, Christmas, a birthday, Valentine's Day.
Y'all,
that's
first of
business.
all, look at this video he posted on TikTok.
Baby, I don't know why you're treating me so bad.
Ridiculous. You didn't have to do that. It ain't even that bad.
It is.
You have a month. You act like it's some people. First of all, it's some people. Like, what if my birthday was like the day after Christmas, or like days after Christmas?
Oh, we would have been celebrating you and Jesus at the same time. What are you talking about?
You would have been tight.
Nah.
Because it would have been 2 separate gifts, Corey. 2 separate gifts, Corey.
Anyway, your birthday.
My birthday. We celebrated my birthday. First birthday together, which was great.
Father the child.
I was freaking out.
King of Prussia. I don't know what to wear. My hair.
First of all, a lot was going on with my dress. It was just a lot, but it was great.
And shout out to Daryl, because Daryl actually got us hooked up to be able to get her dress tailored.
Right.
So shout out to Daryl. He did my tuxedo for the wedding.
My dress was too big.
At Damari Seville, black owned, excellent quality in materials, and just a great experience. But he came through in the clutch and always does. So we made sure that got taken care of.
So that was my birthday.
What and then she had me mad too. She didn't know where she wanted to eat, right? And she doesn't eat a whole lot of meat and stuff like that. But then
we had just started our fast
to a Brazilian steakhouse.
We had just started our fast. No, I didn't initially want to go there. We were gonna go somewhere else, and then we couldn't or something. It wasn't my fault.
You kept on changing and changing.
No, I didn't.
All right, that's all right. Somebody will remember.
Whatever. The
premarital counseling, which we finished. We've told you guys about that over and over and over.
Check out those videos.
If you are in your courting phase, because at our church, if you say you're dating and all that, our pastor will get right with you and say, what's the intent here? Are y'all getting married or what? So definitely finished all of those books that we shared in our last video with you, or one of the later videos about just kind of what our premarital experience. What are you talking about?
I'm about to chop an onion. But also, side note, somebody on TikTok said if you wet a napkin, it'll absorb all the stuff that makes you cry from an onion. So I ain't trying to cry. It's also a certain way you're supposed to cut it. But anyway, go ahead, Corey. Sorry.
Anyway, we shared those books with you guys. Definitely recommend premarital counseling. All of the couples that have done it speak highly of it, and those that haven't done it wish that they did. So we encourage you guys to definitely participate in that, and then we can also link the books as well, because a lot of people have been asking about what they should be engaging themselves in as the new year kind of rolls in. But those books were excellent, and we're still kind of working. Well, we've completed all of those, but working into like more different books, because now we're on the other side, and now it's just a matter of maintaining our understanding of salvation and how that affects how we treat each other, and just continuing to keep our relationship with Christ at the forefront. But those foundational principles and those exercises were established in premarital counseling. So please, 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 again, we'll probably say it in every video, but that is very important for those that are in the courting process and are intending to get married. and we enjoyed that. Wrapped that up in March, and then we're working through shooting batch content, which was very interesting for both of us, experiencing creating content and then posting it later. So it allows us. Well,
also at that time, y'all, we weren't posting each other yet. So y'all have to remember, we didn't post each other until June. July after we had got engaged. So we're creating batch content. We're doing all this together, creating content and stuff. Not content together, but still operating together. But we're the only ones, as well as our family and friends, that know of our relationship. So all of this was happening basically. Did you sneeze? Mm-hmm. Oh, basically behind the scenes or whatever. So that was interesting as well, because it's like a really great sacred secret.
Yeah, and then also I think, again, like with our full-time occupation being content creators, I think that helped us learn before our marriage how to really be present.
Right.
Because like every single moment for our profession is a moment kind of to be shared in a sense, publicly, because that adds value. And then of course there's engagement, and you all become more invested in our story and some of the things that are going on. But we still wanted time to be able to really focus on each other and to be present in premarital counseling, serving the Lord, doing a lot of those different things. So that's been like really cool for us, where if something is happening and we want to be able to upload it right then and right there, cool. But then we get right back to being with each other, because that matters. So that was definitely something that we did sometimes successfully, and other times we fell off for varying reasons.
I think that did help us a lot, though, with because I've fallen way back with taking my phone out as much to record stuff. Yeah. I was that person with my family. I always have my phone out, and I can honestly say that this year I learned how to be present more and just cherish that moment. Yeah, there's a picture here and there, but it's not the entire time. I think it was a blessing that we decided not to post each other and stuff, because it was just I could really focus on being here with you and learning about you, and I really enjoyed that. And it trickled over, because it's nah, just whatever. If we post, we post.
And then also there is some sort of added pressure with other people knowing that you're in a relationship, because naturally you get those questions. A lot of people get them in the holidays, when you get married, when you have a baby, things of that sort. So I know something, especially as Christians, and we'll probably talk about this in another video, but when people start saying that the Lord spoke to them, especially publicly, and then the relationship doesn't work out, we make God look schizophrenic, which is not a good look, because then we don't end up repenting about us saying the Lord said something we actually didn't, and it was us being in our feelings and leaning towards our flesh. So I'm really glad that we did fall back and we're kind of all right, let's just figure out what we have going on, focus on our marriage and our relationship, and then just kind of build everything out from there. And when we feel comfortable to share, we'll go about doing that, which ended up being in quarter 3, but quarter 2 was cool. My birthday, she showed out for me. We went to the Sixers game. And part of if you watched our wedding vows, I didn't go into the full depth of it, but we were actually at the evangelism training at our church. Yeah. And my mom, because I know she wants to see this.
Hey, mama.
Boy, you better go where she's telling you to go, blah, 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 blah. And I texted Kiana that night, and I'm
the night before.
Yeah, the night before, and I'm I don't know what it is that you had planned for my birthday, but I really want to make sure that we're there for the whole entire evangelism training. And it was crazy, because I was expecting a rebuttal from, God bless you, all look on my face. I was expecting a rebuttal from her, because obviously money was spent, time was invested in planning and things of that sort. And she was I trust you. And that was the end of our conversation. So that showed me a lot about her and her willingness to really submit herself to the things of Christ and putting that at the priority of her relationship. But that also allowed me to know that I'll have the flexibility to do whatever the Lord is calling me to do in my life. But then also I'm not gonna have to fight her to do what the Lord is calling us to do as a family, regardless of how crazy it seems. But we're called to live by faith. So that moment was probably one of the biggest for me, just in God reaffirming like that this is who I called you to be with, because she cared mostly about the things of the Lord.
Give me a kid.
Oh, yeah. So after that, you started the wedding dress shopping process.
Oh yes,
so
child.
Break that down.
All right. So, being that we didn't get engaged until after our premarital counseling. That was our focus. We had started planning wedding stuff prior to actually getting engaged. So to the world, it's like, what are y'all doing? It's backwards. But to us, we were just concerned about premarital counseling because we already knew what, God wanted us to do. So that was fine.
And then you always telling me like, oh, is it going to be weird going wedding shopping and I don't have an engagement ring?
Yeah, that was something in my mind because like every time, they're trying to make conversation. They're like, oh, so how'd you guys meet? Well, how was the engagement? And I'm like, well, we didn't get engaged yet. But it was also an entryway of me being able to tell them about Christ and just, Jesus and us being celibate and pursuing holiness and all that stuff. So it led into like a deeper conversation. But it was kind of weird, I'm not going to lie, because it's like, I'm tired of being asked about this. Like, no, I don't have a ring yet, but I'm okay with that because I know, I knew it was coming. I knew we were going to get engaged. But when you go wedding dress shopping, usually it's like a year out. Like most brides are shopping from a year out from their wedding. So they have like ample time to start ordering everything, whatever. That wasn't the case for me because at this point, where we at? Like May, end of May, yeah. So May, June, July, August, September, that's 4 months. Usually people are shopping from a year out. So they're looking at me like, girl, you don't got that much time. I'm like, I know, but we're going to figure it out. Like, everybody, our parents like joke with us, like, you and Corey, y'all have a different type of, yeah, y'all have way too long. Y'all have a different type of faith or whatever. But we be laughing at each other. Like, all this year, it's just been us like, I don't know. But it's going to work it out. Like, I don't know. So that was my mindset going into, you look good, okay?
I wasn't looking at me.
Oh, well, you still look good.
Thank you. I was looking at
Look at blushing. Anyway, so with them saying that, I'm like, yeah, I know I don't have a year out, but it's gonna work out. Like, I'm not concerned. So usually it could take like 6 months for you to order a certain dress, right? Or for them to make it. I didn't have that type of time. So I was left with like sample size dresses, which are basically dresses that are a sample, or that are just like in store to showcase. Those dresses are usually discounted if they're bought because they've been on the rack, they've been shown, whatever. Which wasn't a problem because I could fit those dresses, whatever. I wasn't really pressed about it. I wasn't also going to break the bank about a wedding dress. A dress, in my mind, it's like, yes, it's a special day. It's like monumental, but it also doesn't make sense to be spending a lot of money. We went into detail about this in our wedding video. Go check that out. I'll tag it up here. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, cool. I went to about like 10 wedding dress boutiques. Some, like the first ones I went with my mom and my sisters, which was really, really precious to me. My grandma and my mom went with me to Bridal Reflections, where I actually ended up getting my dress from. And that meant a lot to me because that was the dress that I chose. My grandma got to see me in it first. So just having her experience that moment with me was really special. But there were options. Like, it's not the end of the world if you're doing things in the non-traditional time frame. So it all worked out. Like, I knew it would because this is the Lord's doing. But yeah, that time frame, it was like low-key, I don't know if stressful is the right word. It was intense. It was intense just knowing, like, okay, there's things to do. And I'm the type of person where I'm like, all right, there's X, Y, and Z to do. How's all this going to get done? I could like, if things aren't like mapped out, like very, very detailed for me. I'm like, I can tend to get overwhelmed with like all that's left to do. But I realized, and I spoke about this in my video on my personal page, that this year has just been like God showing me how to accept help, because that was like huge for me. Number one, I'm from New York. Yeah, if you don't know about New Yorkers, I don't know. We are just New Yorkers. I don't know how to explain it. And then it's also like I've just grown up being hyper independent. So Corey coming into my life, God was teaching me that, and just him coming into my life, and then now the wedding planning and just having people just pour out into us in that way. It was just the Lord showing me like, I have you, like I got this. So that entire experience was just a huge learning experience for me, a refining time. I think for both of us, but obviously I could speak better for myself because it was just a lot going on. But all in all, I'm extremely grateful for that experience, and it was beautiful. Like, yeah. It was beautiful. So
I'll say definitely like refining for me as well, because I already kind of had my tuxedo situation figured out. I knew I was going to. I knew, kind of had a general idea of what it is that I wanted. So I wasn't as stressed during that time, but I think one thing.
Corey's never really stressed.
Well, I'm not. It's like we're on total ends of the spectrum in regards to that, which I think really helps us just balance each other out. For real.
I can be like, oh my God, Corey, there's so much stuff to do. Just naturally as a woman, there's like, your mind is just wired different because you're a woman. So you're thinking about multiple things, like so many different things. And I could just be like, oh my God, like, oh, I got this to do, blah, blah. Also, learning how to navigate a space of being a wife now. And Corey could just be like, it's all gonna work out. And I just be like, how? What's going on?
Just our experience preparing for our wedding just like allowed us to really settle into like God's intent in creating like a man and a woman, and how those things balance each other. Like when the word talks about like a woman being a suitable helper in Genesis chapter 2, you kind of see how our different characteristics, our different gifts, our different skills, how all they mesh together, especially in the height of preparing for something as monumental as a wedding. Because I know for like me during that particular time period, like we were working through different brand partnerships, Giorgio Armani, VinFast, I'm trying to think.
There's a lot, Corey.
One. I had a speaking engagement for Teach for America. I was at the school building that we're transitioning into for our church probably 4 or 5 times a week, meeting with different kids from literally all over the city and teaching them about Philadelphia. And they were serving and working on the building that our church is moving into. So I think God was like really expanding me, where in part, like allowing her to be able to go through with the majority of the planning process for the wedding, that she was able to have, I guess, a reformed identity as to what the priority and the purpose of our wedding day was and what our marriage will be, but then also just allowing me to be able to serve and have me wholeheartedly focused on the things of God in that particular season. So it was kind of really cool for us to be able to go through those experiences, and also like the pastors conference that we went to, and seeing like just men, because it wasn't like just for all pastors, like all the men at our church went, but like seeing men before I got married praising the Lord. And anytime I saw hands lifted up, like 90% of the guys in there had a wedding band on their hand, and I was just like, yo, this is like
beautiful.
What being a Christian man is about. This is what being a Christian husband is about, like seeking opportunities to be able to learn more about the Lord, being put in positions to be able to serve the Lord. And those things have now converted into how I serve her, with simple things as like washing the dishes or bringing flowers, or just a lot of things that we've been able to experience too as with each other as a couple, where she knows she now has dependable help. But that's because my foundation in Christ and being discipled the way that I have been, and all the people just pouring into my life, now I have someone to give that over to for the rest of my life. So that was kind of like what I saw about myself through that particular time period. While a lot was going on, but there was also like this stretching that was taking place in both of our lives, where it's like, okay, Lord, I want more faith, or I want XYZ to happen. Sometimes it requires us to be stretched, not to be taken out of the situation or taken around the situation, but to go through it in order to be able to become who God has called us to be. So quarter two was like heavy, but it was all love at the end of the day, because it like helped us propel into the next part of the year where, you know, we had our wedding partnership solidified with Hitch. We were able to work with them on her beautiful engagement ring and also our wedding band. So we were super excited about that process. And we met them on this marriage thing for groomsmen or men preparing to get married. They had this event in Philly, so we attended that, and that was really, really cool. And then you went to go pick up your dress from New York. What was that, I guess, process like? Because I didn't obviously see any of that.
He was okay with me seeing his stuff, and I'm just like, why do you want me to see your tux?
I don't care about all that superstitious stuff. When
it's not Christian. No, it wasn't even.
I don't want to see the dress.
No, it wasn't even about.
I was ready to kiss her before I was supposed to.
It wasn't even. It wasn't even. He was, and it wasn't even about being superstitious. I'm just like, didn't you want it to be like, oh, like he didn't care? And I'm just like,
fellas, listen.
Because if it was about superstition, we wouldn't have seen each other before the actual reception. I mean, wedding ceremony.
Let me talk to the fellas real quick, all right?
This man.
Listen, when you got that tux on, where you got your hair cut all nice, and you know, you got the manicure, because they might be taking pictures of your hands and all that stuff like that. You don't care how many times she's seen you before. That day? Come on.
You're so annoying.
Yeah. Anyway. I knew.
Anyway, so I think that time altogether, it just showed us how each other reacts during like stress as well. Because Corey handles stress well, but he'll never tell you when he's stressed. But like that time frame, I was able to recognize, okay, like this is how he acts when he's stressed out. So it may not be verbal, but it's like now I can recognize it. And I don't know if he'll tell me still moving forward, but I know it's like, I know how he was acting. It was just him being like, not overwhelmed, but there was a lot of responsibility that was being added to him in this time. And also, you're preparing for a huge lifelong decision, things that you've never done before. You're getting engagement rings and planning all that stuff out, planning a proposal, like being prepped for, like being a servant. It was just a lot going on in that time frame, and he handled it really well. But it was just interesting. Like we got to see how each other reacts when it comes to stress. So, what's next? That was quarter two. Quarter three. Oh, we were in quarter three already?
Yeah.
My bad. Okay, so we were securing our honeymoon stuff, which was a blessing.
Yeah, relationships has like always proven to be like a blessing. I've experienced, especially with networking, where with Kevin, like our photographer, like one of my best friends, has been very instrumental in my career as a content creator, influencer, etc. And then also Kiana as well, just being able to be here and work with someone consistently. That a lot of the relationships that I had within the travel industry kind of showed up right on time, because we were able to work with the Canopy by Hilton Hotel in Philadelphia, which is an amazing hotel. Very kind of hip hop based and Philly based. So it was cool to kind of have like that hometown feel for our wedding. And then also for our honeymoon, we went to Hilton Los Cabos, which I worked with this agency called JPR. And I've been working with them since 2020, August of 2020, I believe, and have built great relationships with a lot of the people that are over there. Molly, both Marys, says temp to
the camera overheated. What were you talking about?
So I was giving my gratitude to
Mary,
all my good friends over at JPR. Molly, shout out to Molly, both Marys. Anna, she hooked up the whole Hilton Los Cabos thing. So again, just relationships were something that were very, very, very instrumental in allowing us to experience our beautiful wedding, but also the honeymoon process. And again, we highly recommend that you go to these places. We don't tend to work with brands just for the sake of working with brands, but relationships and the quality of the product and the service that we receive does matter to us. So if you see us post anything, like, word is bond to us, you know, even regard to that as well. So that was super cool. And y'all see the Los Cabos vlog, so definitely make sure you check out both of those. And then also we had, what else? These are kind of out of order. We've talked about a lot of those things.
Bridal shower was great. It was in New York with family. Wedding, like I said, check out those videos.
Please do, especially the Q&A.
Yeah, our Q&A was really,
details
really
of
good.
that wedding process.
Next we have October to December.
Yeah, so as soon as we got back from the honeymoon, we really started learning about each other, and that's why we recommended one of those books, What Do You Expect? Redeeming the Realities of Marriage by Paul David Tripp. Excellent book, just for coming off of the high of the honeymoon, where the real work does begin. And sometimes, even though, like, we experience premarital counseling, and we'll probably get into this in a whole nother different video, but we never lived with each other before. We were still and actively still learning each other, so we weren't afforded a lot of the luxuries that people tend to think are well worth it by doing things outside of God's order. And we've been blessed by faith to be able to experience how much more we actually need God by doing things His way, like developing our routines, trying to figure that out, trying to figure out what Bible study looks like with each other, trying to figure out what meal prepping looks like, going to the gym, content creation, sending out emails, all of those different things we're actively still working on. So we don't want you to think that this is like a perfect, you know, because we prepared the way that we did, that everything has immediately made marriage easier. Marriage is work at the end of the day. So know that, you know, if you're in your courting phase of that process, and that's kind of like what living with each other has been like. And it's an enjoyable process, like getting to know her so that I can love her properly. Can be annoying sometimes. It's all right. But
he be fronting on me.
But I'm here either way. Can't go nowhere. So
that's right.
Yeah, so in all seriousness, this is a learning process, and we understand that. So I guess when, like, the commitment and the understanding of the covenant that we made with the Lord and upholding that is at the top of our priority list, there is no quitting this. You know, it's just a matter of taking the time to converse, figure things out, and working together so that we can be what's best for each other, and also just remaining faithful for what the Lord has called marriage to be. So
it hasn't been easy, but it's been great. Like, yeah. I love being married. So I love being married to you.
As you should.
This man can never take a compliment.
That is me taking a compliment.
No, it's not.
I'm grateful for being married to you as well.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be married to anybody else.
Okay. You just don't be saying thank you like that. You just like, as you should, like, whatever. Anyway, sorry.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we went to New York for Thanksgiving. Spent time with my family, which was really great. Surprised my grandma. She was very happy to see us. That's
my lady. She started hating on me as soon as her grandma seen me.
Cause she'd be like, "Oh, let me look at you. Oh, give me a hug," and she'd be rubbing on him. I'm just like, "Yo, chill out now. All right, we ain't gonna be doing all that."
It's a family thing.
Anyway, so that was really, really cool. Got to see Puda, my sisters, everybody, which was great. Josiah ignores everybody once Uncle Corey's around, so.
That's my young boy.
If y'all don't know, Josiah is my nephew. I have a niece and a nephew. My niece is 17, and Josiah just turned 6 on Thursday, the 29th, so.
That napkin is not working. Whatever you put water on, it's a lie.
Why the onion is done.
But anyway, go ahead.
Your eyes burning? Don't cry.
I look like crying.
Don't cry.
In front of these folks?
Oh, please. Corey.
I cry. You only see me cry once.
That was enough for a lifetime.
Actually, 1.5 times.
That was enough for a lifetime.
Because I almost lost myself when I proposed to you.
Twice.
But I was boohooing at the wedding. I ain't gonna hold you.
You was crying when I proposed too. But anyway, so that was Thanksgiving. Oh, then we got to go on our second trip together. So more so like our second honeymoon. Because we were able to collaborate with Virgin Voyages, which was great.
Lady. All adult cruises.
All adult cruise. That was my very first cruise. It was great.
Went to Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic and Bimini, Bahamas.
It was 5 days.
Yes. And
it was great.
Food was delicious.
Food was great. That vlog is coming soon. I'm in the process of editing it right now. Oh, by the way, our apple picking vlog will be going up first before that vlog. So even though we did that in the fall, it's really funny actually. I've been cracking up editing it. So that should be going up probably first week of January, next week. And then the Virgin Voyages vlog will be going up. It's after this video. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it was a great time. Like we had a great time. All inclusive. Food was really great. Yeah. Everybody
weather was
really nice.
Not the best, but I mean, when you go anywhere, you can't guarantee the weather. So.
Right, and plus it was December, so
first time vacationing in December.
I would ideally love to be stationary just moving forward, like going to a resort. But I did enjoy my experience on the cruise. And I would do a cruise again, but I think I would have to do it again, and it would have to be in like the summertime or something for like a even better experience. But it was still a great experience.
And probably would never do another one that has kids on it until we have kids, if we were to go about doing that, because it was like, I went when I was in high school with my mom, and I was able to like earn vacations during the summer. And I remember being one of those high school kids that wanted to be in the adult areas and wanted to be a part of the parties and all that stuff like that. To be able to not have like the menace vibe all around the ship for like, cause you know when we're kids, we stay up eating pizza at 2 o'clock in the morning, running our mouths and all that stuff like that. But I think that was like really cool to be able to have an all adult vacation. And I appreciate that a whole lot more now, because a lot of this year has been ripping and running. So we were able to really just kick it and fall back. So it was cool that the cruise kind of provided that vibe for us. And again, we enjoyed it very, very much. After that, came right back and we're preparing for Christmas.
We took our Christmas photos.
We took our Christmas photos before Christmas. Shout out to Kev again. And that was like really cool for us being able to decorate the tree together.
Yeah.
She had me wearing matching pajamas.
You were okay with it, and they were cute. Even though I think we had to find some different pajamas, because I saw a lot of people with those pajamas, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, we might have to get some like
exclusive, like.
Yeah. We're gonna pop out next year.
Yeah, we're gonna pop out with some like.
So stay tuned for that. That was really nice. We had a lot going on actually throughout this whole entire Christmas and New Year's Eve process. But our church did an amazing job. Communion was a blessing. My wife sung at communion. She sings on Sundays and all of that.
Why you have to miss me?
Because I like seeing that. And again, it's just important to serve the Lord. But that was really nice. We had Christmas dinner with our church family, and then we went to my mom's house, and then we stopped by to see my dad. And my mom did something on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, so it was really cool to be able to play like family games. And I was just talking to my mom about this the other day, but
Corey's horrible.
Like, I'm really competitive.
He's extremely
competitive. But I also saw how important it is for me as like the middle-aged and also the older cousin not to be too cool to participate in stuff, because I know how that kind of gets, where it's like everybody's ready to do something, and then the men are kind of just like, nah, we're watching a football game, or nah, you know, I'm not getting up. So just kind of been preparing for like our own family, and when we have those opportunities to be able to play games with our kids, like I want to be active and to let them know that this is a part of like being a man, and manhood is like just getting up and doing stuff, you know, for the sake of your family and being present. Like showing up and being there is not good enough, but actually being present. So chill out. But I was whooping my cousins. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Every game that I competed in, I won. I had the cup around my waist. I put the ball in the cup like 14 times. Yeah, 12
times.
All right, 15 times.
How we get
the game was snatching the cup off of the ground. We actually had different gifts for that, and there was money in the
we'll vlog this next year.
Gifts, and also like candy and different things like that. I had brand new Christmas sweats on, my Sixers sweats, and I told them like I ain't come here to ruin my sweats. I came here to kick it and spend time with my family.
Just trash talk.
And since y'all want to compete, let's get to it.
It's so annoying.
People diving all over the ground and stuff. Like Chris Brown, give me that. Simple as that. We came back with like $20. You know what I mean? So I hooked up the bank account. That's all right. Oh, all right. So I put the family on my back, and that's what I do. As a man, you gotta provide for your family.
Are you done?
All right, yeah. So that was like really, really cool. But I think just shout out to my mom because she's definitely been the rock of our family. After losing my grandmother and my great aunt to dementia, and really just kind of witnessing her taking initiative and hosting, and my cousin Craig as well. They've done an excellent job with just making sure that our family maintains relationships and sees each other outside of funerals. So that's been like a blessing of something that we're trying to make sure that eventually, when it's our time to be able to host some things of that sort, that we make a habit of knowing that our family can be around us and to spend time with us. Because I don't know, as Black people, I don't know what it is, but like family reunions and funerals are sometimes synonymous, and I don't want that to be, something that is taking place in our family. So definitely appreciative of my mom about that.
I just gotta speak on your mom. I remember like praying that I never would have to deal with annoying in-laws and I just wanted a drama-free in-law situation. And I can honestly say that like Corey's mom has been like the biggest blessing like in my life. Like top 10, one of the greatest people that have come into my life since I've moved down here. And you sometimes have moms who their sons are like their everything, and they don't know how to separate being a mom and letting their son go and dealing with that and all that stuff. I've never had to experience that with Corey and his mom. His mom, she's probably more on Corey about like making sure he's doing everything to like assist with me being happy and stuff, more so than like trying to keep him under her wing and under her arm and baby him in that sense. And Mama, I know you're looking at this, and I'm trying not to cry, but you have really changed my life, and I'm grateful for you. Like, I wish everybody could experience having a woman like her in their life, or like embracing somebody like that in their life, because it's like she goes out of her way to make sure you feel loved, and she didn't have to do that for me. Like, literally from when I first got down here. Well, before I even moved down here, like, opened up her home to me when I was...
She came on an apartment tour.
She came and, like, looked at my apartment with us when I first, like, was about to move in to make sure everything was straight. And she didn't, like, truly know me because, obviously, Corey, like, everything happened fairly quickly with us. So it's, like, all that it just means the world to me, because when people go out their way to do stuff for you that they don't have to do, and they continuously do it, you just know it's genuine and it's coming from a good place, and it's because that's just how they're wired, that's just how they are, and it's the Lord. So, Mama in love, I love you, and I'm gonna stop before I start crying, and that's all.
Yeah, shout out to her.
She's the girl.
My mom's the best. Definitely have learned a lot from her, and all her over and over and over of repeating the same things. I have paid attention.
He has, and I tell her all the time that she's done an amazing job raising this amazing man, and both of your parents did. Like, and I know she's extremely. Well, Corey, make sure.
Texting me on vacation.
Like when we were funny story, y'all. So we went jet skiing, and y'all see this in the vlog for Virgin Voyages, so the cruise. But we went jet skiing, and Corey posted the video that I was able to capture. So Corey was driving the jet ski. I've been jet skiing before. This excursion was like an hour long. I was over it after the first 15 minutes. I wasn't scared. It was more so just like, I'm just over it. My eye, more specifically my right eye, tears up like a lot, especially when I have makeup. So it was really windy, us being out, in the water. So it was like my eyes were crying. So in the video, like you could see my eyes tearing up. So she thought I was crying. So Corey's laughing in the video, and I'm kind of like just focused or whatever. Because Corey could like swim, whatever. I could survive in the water. I'm not the greatest swimmer. But I was just like, okay, there's a bit of discomfort there. But I wasn't scared.
And I was pushing it. I was going like
Corey,
35. I was getting loose.
Because I was holding his torso, my nails were like digging in. I'm like, Corey, slow down. Corey. And he just reared it up.
No, but also tell them I was always asking.
He was asking me, how's I doing? Am I okay? And I'm like, yeah. But when I was like, I had to dig in him.
I'm sliding down your butt.
Anyway, so she texted me and she's like, are you okay? You look petrified. And I'm like, yeah, this camera getting hot. I don't know why it's doing that. But she said, are you okay? You look petrified. Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, I'm fine. And she texts Corey. She's like, because I'm about to beat him up. Like, why are you scared? And I'm just like, aw, Corey, you about to get it. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's been, like, honestly, the rest of this year. And next year, definitely to kind of give you some insight on a lot of the house cleaning that we've been doing, or the housekeeping, working towards getting an accountant. Well, getting our house in order with, like, just business practices, our accounting, our finances. Prayerfully, we'll have our first house next year, and God willing, even more property than that. But those have kind of been the things that we've been working on, and we look forward to continuing to expand upon, and also sharing those parts of our journey with you. Definitely expect more products from us this year too, whether that be ebooks, budgeting templates. Definitely going to get some. We're gonna get some book and balance out this year.
Yes, we're getting book and balance out
The streets need that, so y'all can wear, Christ everywhere on you. Your hat, your body, your pants, your socks, your drawers, whatever you name it, we got it.
All right.
In Jesus' name, all right.
Literally in Jesus' name.
Yeah, she got it.
Okay. But what else? Did we miss anything? Oh no, that's basically it. So we gonna just finish out, rocking out tonight. It's like 6:48. It feels like it's like 10 o'clock, but we already went to church. Today we had brunch. It's weird that New Year's Eve is falling on a Saturday and New Year's Day is on a Sunday. But instead of us going for watch night service, we just had brunch today and we'll be going in regular service tomorrow. So, y'all want to stay around with us to finish cooking? Or do you think we need to close it out?
Nah, we gonna close it out because
right.
I'm gonna spend the night with my wife. All right.
You wanna spend the night with me, so I gotta see y'all later.
And also, go birds.
What does that have to do with it?
Has to do with everything. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Bye, y'all. See y'all next year. We love y'all. Thank y'all for being on this journey with us thus far. We look forward to everything to come in 2023.
And we appreciate y'all's support.
Look at Corey. We appreciate y'all's support. All right. Love y'all.